open about that. And I know for a fact everybody's relapsing. Many people are dying because they closed the 12-step meetings. There were no in-person 12-step meetings. Public health doesn't know that addicts need their 12-step meetings, right? People had cancer surgeries that were delayed and died. Of course, there's been some vaccine injuries as well. And we have been absolutely traumatized and victimized by a campaign of fear against the citizenry. And every Western democracy did it. They had these nudge units. We had Laura Dodsworth on the show talking about how they hired behavioral scientists to scare us so we would comply. And they've been doing it for 2 years with absolute complicity by the mainstream media. They were used as a tool. We couldn't trust anybody because nobody was telling us the truth. And they wonder why people are paranoid and freaked out and depressed and suicidal. That's why. This situation, in my view, has kind of rearranged our nervous systems. I think there are many people who will not be able to unring the fear bell. There are people who will never leave their apartments, right? They're too far gone now. I know some of them. My former housekeeper who worked for us for 22 years will never go out of her apartment now. She goes for walks. She won't come here for Christmas anymore ever. She says, the virus, the virus, the virus. She's too frightened. This is what we've done to our country. And they got away with it because we accepted authoritarianism. We accepted tyranny because they told us it was for the greater good. And that means that the individual is sacrificed in that kind of a dynamic. So I've spent almost 2 years trying to bring to the people who listen to this podcast experts and scientists and data specialists and people who've suffered and artists who can talk about the human pain of this thing. And there are days when I feel like none of it worked. You know, I say on the show, I think we're almost out of this thing, you know, and then there's a new variant or some new crazy thing happens, or they ask us to do another terrible thing that we never thought we would do, and we do it. The goalposts move yet again. I mean, it's been really hard. And but this is not about me. I'm just trying to explain why I'm so happy about what's happening in my country right now. And that is that our wonderful blue-collar workers, the people who built this country, are now fighting for us. They are galvanizing us. They are uniting us in a way that hasn't happened in this country for 2 years. Our political leaders divide us with rhetoric. They demonize people who don't want the vaccine as if they're monsters, not worthy of health care and regard and respect. And who is bringing us together now? Who is it? It's not the hoi polloi with the PhDs, folks. You know who it is? It's the truckers. My father was in the trucking business, so it's like extra emotional for me. Reimer Express, I'll say, and Canadian Freightways at some point. I try to remember them all. But it's these hardworking people who were absolutely lionized by the politicians when they needed them a year ago. And now that they're challenging them on vaccine mandates, they are, as our Prime Minister said just a very short while ago, holding unacceptable views. Right? Unacceptable views. Imagine that phrase being used in a Western democracy in the year 2022. This is Pravda level Russian propaganda language. You are not thinking correctly. The truck drivers are not thinking correctly. I think they are thinking correctly. And so I'm not going to talk too much tonight because I want you to hear from these wonderful people. And I know that we have a big, big audience tonight. And I know that many of the people have questions for the truckers we're going to have on the show tonight. And we have some special guests. So let me introduce who we've got here right now. We have Tamara Leach, who is the woman who, I shouldn't say single-handedly organized this, but you've been working your butt off really hard, right, to pull this together. And Chris Barber, who is a trucker. Lean in a bit, Chris, so we can see your face there.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're sitting in your rig. What kind of a rig is it? I like people to know what you're driving.
I drive a long nose Kenworth, 2003.
Yeah, is that one of the big ones we shake our fists at on the road? Because you're.
No, actually, a lot of people are shaking something else when we see it right now. We're
Yeah, I
leading the
bet
pack.
they're.
We call it Big Red, and it's been out front for the majority of the convoy since we left Alberta, actually.
Yeah. And I guess Jake is the chap on the other side. Hi, Jake.
Hi.
How are you?
How's everyone?
Now, you have not yet joined the convoy, right? You are in Leamington, Ontario.
We are in Leamington, yes, and we're leaving Comber tomorrow at 9 in the morning.
Right. And where you're going straight to Ottawa, are you?
No, we're first going to stop in Kingston, spend the night, and then Friday morning is when we're going to roll into Ottawa.
Okay. So let me ask you while I've got you, Jake, why did you decide to do this? What was the motivation for you?
Well, I told customs on both sides of the border.
Yeah.
I said, if it comes down to the point to where we got to get the vaccines, because the customer I talked to, he said, look, as a child, I ate dirt. I don't need the vaccine. So I knew that was a person I could take and talk to, right?
Yeah.
And
kids.
I told him, look, if it comes to the point where they're going to take and do this to the truckers, we're going to shut down the border without a question. And I told the Canadians on the Windsor side the same thing. I said, we're going to shut them down. I didn't think that it would get to this point to where we'd have to go to Ottawa, you know, but I think it is absolutely fantastic and very exciting to take and go to the Capitol and show them for what he said, right? I know they don't have to worry about us truckers, but the way he said it, the so-called convoy.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
It'll be a so-called convoy. The greatest truck show on earth is what's going to happen there. So,
well, and so let's update what we know about this. So I'll ask you, Tamara. You've been on the road since when? Yourself?
We left on the morning of the 24th. That's today. So 2 days.
Yeah.
This was 2 full days.
And where are you now? Where are you sitting in the truck?
We got into Thunder Bay just a couple hours ago.
You did, eh? Are you pooped?
I'm tired. I have not been getting a lot of sleep. It's been lots of on the phone as soon as I get up, pretty much till I go to bed.
Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah. And Chris, why did you undertake this? You know, as a driver, I saw I think one of your original TikTok videos. You're pretty hot under the collar. But explain for our listeners who might not have seen it why you undertook this.
I think there's so many of my brothers and sisters. I have to make a point to Mr. Justin Trudeau that we're not being compliant. Here's my vaccine passport, Mr. Trudeau. I can actually legally cross the border back and forth. And I'm leading this convoy to Ottawa right now for a reason, because I've got a lot of friends out there. Whether I was forced into taking it or not, I thought
Oh, we've got a glitch here. What's
need officers out here on the highway? They're now forced out of a job.
Yeah. Okay, technical stuff. We are going to have technical stuff tonight. There's absolutely no doubt about that, just because of what we're trying to do. Chris, I just want to go back to get you to finish what you said. Am I correct that you are vaccinated then? Not that I ask people their status, it's none of my business, but you have the card out. So.
Yep. Yeah, I'm actually fully vaccinated. My son chooses not to. That's his personal choice. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I find it kind of ironic that they would say that.
Yeah. So what was the frustration for you? I feel, having listened to you guys for a while now, that it's actually bigger even than the mandates, really, isn't it? I mean, are you trying to just make a statement about not being heard, about Canadians not being heard?
I guess the truckers are always like the last line of defense. I guess we're the unsung heroes, and most of the time, and people don't really realize how much we contribute to society. I guess we're kind of proving a point right now more than anything.
Yeah. And what point do you think you're proving, Chris? What do you want to say?
We belong. We're important. We've been in essential service right from day one, and now all of a sudden we're being told by the federal government that if you do what we tell you to, then we will reward you.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I think it comes down to the point once it's
being with,
right?
You know, being able to.
Sorry, Jake. Let's just see if we can get Chris to finish that thought. Matt, we've got a tech here. So that feed is, we've got a feed that's freezing a little bit here, of course, because you're in a truck.
My phone rings every 30 seconds.
Sorry, what?
So we're in a truck and the phone keeps ringing all the time. So I don't know how to mute the phone so nobody can call us, but it's on mute.
Oh, it might be the phone ringing actually that's hurting the feed, right? Maybe. Yeah. Well, we're just going to keep on going because we're just, we're free and easy here. So, Chris, just to finish your thought, sorry. So I said, what message did you want to say? What message were you trying to say?
Well, we've been essential from day one in this pandemic. We've been essential to the country. And now all of a sudden we're considered expendable because we won't do what the government tells us to do. So we
That must be
stand
painful.
on it. It is a little bit. I put my life into this job.
Yeah, and I know you guys work hard. I know you work hard. Tamara, when I spoke to you this morning, you were a bit weepy. What were you feeling this morning? You've been through a lot in the last couple of days, I guess, eh?
Well, I was feeling, I'm really tired. I'm very exhausted. I'm not getting a lot of sleep. And I think it's just overwhelming. I keep using that word, but it's absolutely overwhelming what we're trying to do here, and putting it together on the road. I mean, literally Chris's phone and my phone are going off constantly all day long, text messages, phone calls, so, and it's really, it's so touching when I'm going to cry. When you started this, a lady brought her child over who wanted to come and meet me and give me a hug. Just a little guy. So I had to open the door and give him a hug. I couldn't turn him away because we were doing the show. I've had people come up to me and hug me and tell me that they've lost everything. I talked to a lady the other day whose 12-year-old son has muscular dystrophy, and he's rapidly losing his hip mobility because he is not allowed to access the pool for his swimming therapy. So there's a lot of emotion, you hear these stories and they're terrible and sad, but at the same time, they really show how strong the Canadian people are when they come together. We're very resilient. People are starting to see through all the bull crap about this division that, we've had the government and the media, the mainstream media have been trying to tear us apart and divide us by race, by culture, by ideology, by geographical location. We went through Winnipeg yesterday and there was a native drummer on the side of the road for us. Hutterite colonies came. There was Catholic nuns. There was all these different ethnicities and cultures that were all coming together and standing together in solidarity for us. And it's like nothing I've ever seen after so many years of being pitted against each other. Yeah. And it's a lot,
Yeah. I saw the photograph of the Hutterite ladies. It was astonishing. They're out there with their little, it was just.
Oh my God. Yeah. They followed us from Winnipeg to Kenora last night because we didn't really have a good place to stop in Winnipeg because the crowds were so big. They followed us with 8 trucks and trailers full of hot food from Winnipeg to Kenora to make sure that we could eat a hot meal.
Be done here in about 20 minutes.
That's astonishing. I know. Well, it is a great country, Jake. So this is what you're in for, right? I guess you're going to suit up and out you go tomorrow, and you're going to really experience the wonderful side of your country and how much we actually mean to each other. That must be a hopeful thing for you.
Absolutely. Like, if we don't fight now, our kids don't have a future. They'll have a future, but that'll be begging on their knees for a crumb to eat. And we can't allow that to happen. Not as Canadians, not as human beings and fellow brothers and sisters, We can't do that.
Yeah. Well, we are brothers and sisters. There's no question about that. Maybe it's inappropriate for me to say this to you, Tamara, but I'm going to. You're Métis, are you not?
Scottish and Métis, yes. My grandfather, I was adopted. My birth grandfather was Métis and my birth grandmother was Cree.
What's it like for you to experience being smeared with suggestions that you are embracing hate speech or a white supremacy, whatever. I'm not even going to say the words they say. They're so absurd. But what is
I
it
know
like
they're
for you? It's just, yeah. But what's
You know
it like
what,
for you?
Trish?
Yeah.
I don't read it. People that send me that stuff, I say I'm not going to read it. I don't care. We need to stay focused. We and Chris have a little saying. We call it keeping our eye on the prize. Let them say what they want. I've been following this stuff. I see what's going on. I consider myself to be very aware. And a good friend of mine, Tom Quiggin, told me when you're taking the most flack, it means you're flying directly over the target. And my dad has a saying, if they're picking on you, they're leaving somebody else alone.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
So let me just, I want to bring in some greetings for you guys, but I just need to have a couple of housekeeping questions. Where is the GoFundMe at? And are you or are you not able to access that money now?
You know what? I haven't even checked it. Let's have a look here and see where it's at.
5.5, I believe.
Canadians are donating $1 million a day right now.
Wow. That's brilliant.
Just a second here. Let me just check it out. I've got 5.7 now.
Oh my goodness.
$5.7 million. I'm going to have to bump it again tonight.
Wow.
Good.
Yeah, they've been, GoFundMe has been okay. I mean, we've been emailing back and forth. They seem to be putting a lot of hoops in front of us to jump through, but we've got a lawyer on it now, and I talked to him when we first got here, and he's pretty optimistic that it's not going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So
why should it be? Yeah. But you never know these
exactly.
days, right? Yeah, you never know what's going to happen with some of these platforms. And then the other thing I just wanted to ask is, do you know how many trucks are going to descend on Ottawa in the end? Do you have a number of any sort?
Trish, we don't. We as the convoy rolls across the country, we have people that are joining in every little city, and then they'll drop off. So they just want to take part in it. So there's times when we could have 600 to 800 trucks in the convoy, and there's the rest. I think the core of the convoy is probably around 200, maybe plus.
Yeah,
I'd say.
Okay. So I just want to read something to you because we've got a few greetings here. This was a chap I saw on Twitter who'd said that his little boy had been asking questions about the truckers this morning. So I said, look, just email me a question from your kid and we'll ask the truckers, right? So here we go. His son's name is Connor and he's 10 years old. He's from Tiny, Ontario. I don't even know where that is. Connor asks, how long do the truckers think they will be parked in Ottawa? That's the question from Connor from Tiny, Ontario.
You know what? Because of the Canadian people and the donations we've had,
yeah,
we could live in Ottawa for quite some time. So
yeah.
Justin Trudeau has never met somebody as stubborn as a truck driver.
Yeah, they are stubborn. That's true.
That's right.
Okay.
The stuff we put up with, we can take and handle him, no problem.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm just going to say a couple of things people are saying. You can see these things up the side of the screen. Yay for uniting us, trucker soldiers. They've given us hope. God bless the truckers. Stay safe. 18 wheels to flatten the curve. That's not too bad.
Oh,
That's a t-shirt, right? That's a t-shirt, isn't it?
that's a t-shirt.
Yeah. Thanks for driving the Hope Train. I'm so grateful to all of you. I can't stop crying with love and joy. Thanks so much with deep love and respect, Laurel. And someone saying good to be on a call together. So that's some of them. I'm going to bring in Julie Panassi, who you know, and she wanted to be here tonight to give you guys some positive reinforcement and a greeting, and just to let you know that you're supported by many, many, many people. So she's going to be popping in a second. Where is our Julie? Well, I guess while he's doing that, I'll keep reading these. So we've got, someone says, I cannot see or hear anything other than these comments. That's interesting. So I can't help you with that. But true heroes, you're all amazing. Go truckers, you are amazing. Someone's helping Debbie get tacked on that so she can get her audio going. Go truckers, you're amazing. Yes, yes, yes. Someone's saying. Lots of comments here. Lots of comments. Here's the other interesting thing that might brighten your day. Are you Neil Young fans at all or no?
Can I tell you the story about the TikTok I made last night? I was in Kenora, Ontario.
But wait. Do you know the news today, though? Do you know the news yet about it? Spotify's getting rid of him.
What?
Really?
Yeah, they're getting rid of him. They picked Joe Rogan over Neil.
Oh,
Wow.
good.
I know. It's so funny. I mean, I'm sad about it. I love Neil Young, but what can you do? Joe isn't saying take people down. So why does Neil have to do that? Anyway, what's your TikTok story? Sorry.
Last night I did because Neil Young is so much in love with us apparently. So I did a convoy picture of rolling video last night in Kenora, Ontario, with all the trucks in the parking lot with Neil Young's "Rockin' the Free World" as the theme.
Of course. Yeah. Of course it's rocking in the free world. Yeah. Yeah. Which actually,
song behind it, so
yeah.
good job, Neil Young.
I think that song was a bit of a protest too against, the man. And it's so funny how all those people who are counterculture are now on the other side of this thing. It's really, really interesting. So we're still, so she's saying Julie Panassi here. Are we not able to get her? Oh, she's coming in. Okay. Sorry, guys. This is like flying the space shuttle here,
Oh, good.
Yeah, Julie's going to be here in a second. So will you guys pack it in for the night soon, or like what time do you go to bed? When you're on the road?
Tamara stays in a hotel room every night. I sleep in the truck with my son. So I don't know. I was in bed after 12:30, something like that, every night, and I've been up at 5. So
yeah,
logbook looks perfect. I've got my ample time off, but we're both exhausted. It's been a lot.
Yeah. So just waiting for Julie. So when you get to Ottawa, what are you going to do? I'll ask Jake that question just to go like, how long will you stay there, Jake? Because they're not going to come out and, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm packing to take and stay till we finish with everything. Till the government resigns, we put somebody new in, and it cannot be Aaron O'Toole because he's the missing piece of Justin Trudeau's asshole. That's all.
Yeah. So
Aaron O'Toole is no better really than Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, I think it's probably unlikely that anybody's going to resign, Jake. That the protest is really about mandates and changing some of the rules as I understand it, right? But I get why you guys are angry and why people say those things, but that's no one's going to resign, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. But how long will you stay waiting for the mandates to change, do you think? Is it a commitment of a couple of days, or what do you think?
Well, look, I can't cross regardless, right? I can't work. In the side work I do, polishing rims and stuff for other truckers. Yeah. Well, that I can't do because the weather ain't right.
Yeah.
So I'm set at least for a month.
Yeah. Yeah. So, a month. Wow. Okay. So there's Julie. Hi, Julie.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. I can hear you. Yes.
And see you too. So I guess you're here really, well, for a variety of reasons. One, I love and admire you, but also so you can talk to, to these wonderful people about how you feel about what they're doing. You are a person who took a stand against mandates, and it cost you. And, we're celebrating brave people, I guess, tonight.
Well, Trish, you say it cost me. It didn't cost me what's really important. I didn't give up myself. I didn't give up my soul. And I don't think any of these guys have done it. I don't think they're going to do it either. I'm just in complete awe. I don't think, I was thinking about this today. Never have I responded so quickly to do a show as I did to your request today, because I wanted so much to talk to these guys and to support them, and Tamara and everybody that's on the road. And I've honestly never in my life felt so much gratitude, so much pride for perfect strangers from all corners of our country. I mean, what an amazing time in history. In ethics, we talk about integrity all the time, and it's basically, doing what you say you're going to do. These guys are doing it.
Yeah.
The PhDs in ethics have got nothing on our truckers in Canada. I'm sorry, guys, but you are amazing. And so many people have been working, so bravely, so tirelessly to resist these mandates and other restrictions. And as you've been talking about, it's not just about that, right? It's about like this dark cloud that's hanging over our country that is so un-Canadian. And how do we dissolve it? How do we get rid of it? There's so much courage going around today. Some people, and we all have our skills, some people express their courage with their words, some with their voice. But sometimes what we really need is we need strong, united physical action. We need that now. And the truckers are really stepping up. And I just can't believe it. I just think about them driving from all the corners of our country, from BC and PEI, and on icy roads and through the wintry conditions. And it just feels to me like, they're taking all the brokenness and all the hate and all the division and weaving us back together again. And now the Americans are joining in a way that, the great nations of the past have always come together. And I just want to say to the truckers, you are giving so many people so much hope, which is such a foreign emotion. We haven't had that in so long. And I just think about like the elderly people in the long-term care homes that have been just so lonely and left to die. You've given them reason to smile again. Yeah. And people who've lost their livelihoods and who've suffered from mental illness, they have reason to hope. And families who have lost their loved ones. I think about Dan Hartman, whose son is dead because of all of this, most likely. Yeah. And it just brings me to tears. But that you give me the same kind of tears. It's just different. It's just, it just wells up. And I think you've made our Constitution and our Charter and our Bill of Rights sing again. And you're saying for all of us, to our government that has terrorized us for the last 2 years, that it's over. The dam is breaking. Enough is enough. You are our servants, not the other way around. And you're just reminding us that we're all human and we all feel pain and loss and loneliness, but that we also all cherish friendship and unity, and we have dreams and hopes for the future. And we need to stand up and take back what's belonged to us all along. And we are never going to let this happen again, right? We're not going to let this amnesia persist. We're never going to let our government terrorize us with false information and divide us and break us. We are stronger than that. And I just hope if you guys are getting tired or frustrated, please don't give up. Please don't leave Ottawa. I work with so many groups, and we're going to support you. We're going to get you money. We're going to get you food. We're going to figure out the media, whatever it is. We are going to support you. And we just ask, please don't back down. Please just keep going, keep rolling. Isn't that what they say? Thank you so much.
Keep on trucking.
Oh, Julie. Julie, that was really beautiful. And one thing that you kind of touched on is the idea that what the truckers are doing, it's a really simple thing, like you and I and all the other people kind of dancing around the big ideas. I spend my days reading studies, looking for an answer that will finally solve, reading books and trying to book the ultimate guest who's going to, make them change policy. And
we just needed to get in our cars and honk our horns and drive
and say, screw this, right? Like that's really the simple beauty of what's happening, because when I started getting really depressed was when I realized that facts weren't going to change the dance here, right? I can podcast till the cows come home, and I know that people listen because they need to hear the truth out of all of the crazy media propaganda. I understand that service. But I realized that telling the truth was not going to change the policy. It wasn't, because the policies aren't based on truth, right? They're based on something else. And I've had this experience with people who are fully kind of in the mass psychosis, mass formation thing that we're all talking about, which feels so true to me psychologically for people, that when you hit them with facts, you say, well, no, the hospitals in Ontario aren't filled with dying children. That's what they think. And you say that, and they react like Linda Blair in The Exorcist, the holy water from the priest, and she's going, it burns. Like, we don't want facts. They don't want the facts. The facts are rejected. So for people like you and me who are trying to move policy that way, in a time when the policy won't be moved based on reality, it was very, very depressing. I was coming to the end of the line and feeling what I was capable of even achieving with this thing. And then up popped the truckers with this simple solution that galvanized a country that didn't know what to do. They didn't know. Everybody, the letters I get from people, I don't know what to do. What can we do, right? And here it is. It's happening, right?
It's
so
amazing.
It's so
COVID
good.
is the new religion, right? It's you can't. Reason doesn't work. I mean, I've spent my life training in reason. It's totally ineffective right now. We are being bullied by bullies. You can't reason with them. We need these giants to stand up against these bullies and defend us and protect us. And in some sense, we can't do it. You know, I mean, I'm an intellectual. I speak, I write. That's my trade. I can't do what they're doing. But I think we need to own that, and we need to be honest about that. And it's okay to work together. It's okay to be good at different things, right? It's okay not to have a monopoly on courage or a monopoly on what's right or a monopoly on democracy. Every Canadian deserves a place and a voice, and I'm just so grateful. I said I had no words. I guess I have a lot of words. I'm just so grateful.
Well, I didn't think this day was going to come. And I think for people like you and I, Julie, like I just had a moment where like I heard about the trucker was sort of happening. I said, I better do a show. And I had a moment where I had a big weep about it because it hit me that actually something's happening. The iceberg is breaking up and these folks are going to move it, right? And I've been happy. Right? I've been happy about it. Yeah. So I just want to read a couple. Thanks. So what's that? What does it say?
A mom just brought her little girl over here to give me this picture that says, I love truckers.
Oh,
It's got a truck on it.
She was so sweet.
That's great. Thank you so much from a mom that can't watch my boys play sport. I've been crying happy tears. Thank you. I'm so excited to hear from Julie. Okay, so that sound problem was fixed. That's always good. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to ask this question. I don't know if it's legitimate or not, but I think I will. I think I will. Okay. I read that there might be some individuals from radical groups trying to squeeze into the lineup. Any word on identifying who is who to endure the movement? I'm not sure that's the right word, but the movement remains distant from the convoy. I think he's saying maybe there's people going to try to cause a bit of trouble to make you look bad. I think that's maybe the suggestion there. Is that a thing? Like, I know they're already accusing you of that, which is the playbook. So whatever, just, you know, but do you suspect?
We got a call. I got a call today from some people in higher up positions in law enforcement saying that there was 4 individuals that left Winnipeg for Antifa that infiltrated us in Kenora sometime this morning. We're traveling in the group, so we just addressed it. We told all the truckers, we said, do not engage with these people. If you see somebody that doesn't fit the profile of the people, you get the license plate numbers, we'll hand them off to the OPP without any question. The OPP can run the plates, figure out who these people are. So we don't want any trouble.
Yeah, no, you don't want any trouble. Jake, who are you leaving behind? Do you have a wife and children, or what is your situation to go on
Yes,
this?
I do. Leaving the wife, father-in-law, and my 3 kids behind. So.
What do they think of it? Are they proud of
Oh,
you?
they're all excited. They're all for it, you
Yeah.
know, because they know as well as we all know that if nobody stands up for them, they won't know what freedom really is, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, someone's got to do it. And so I want to get just some experience. We talked a little bit about this, but this is the fun part for me. And, you know, it's really what I find the most moving beyond your courage. It's just that the overpasses that are full, the people by the side of the road, like, did that kind of pick up steam over the days that it started out being 10 people and then it was 50 people? And explain to me how that has evolved up until today, because it seems like it's getting quite big, right?
Winnipeg took the pie yesterday, I tell you. Winnipeg and Headingley was stacked for people the entire distance around the city. Highway number 1, I think it was about 30 kilometers of wall-to-wall people on both sides of the highway. I've seen so many Canadian flags now. I'm pretty sure I should have got into the market of making them and selling them.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah. And you guys, I think one of the things you
No,
were called
Trish.
today. What? Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to tell you,
Yes.
Chris was telling me a story. He got some decals for his truck for this trip. And when he was originally had this idea, he was going to put an upside down flag on to show the sign of distress. But after all the support and love that we've received, he changed his mind.
It's hanging up the proper way on the back of the truck right now. Both number in the breeze.
Is that right? Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so I'm going to bring in. Do you want to hang around for a while, Julie? Do you want to?
Sure, a little bit.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So we've got Francis Christian as the other person we invited tonight. Do you know who he is?
Nope.
Yes, from the University of Saskatoon.
Yes, he got in big trouble because he suggested that maybe they should be considering more issues when they're talking about vaccinating children. And he, again, this is like Julie, this is a person who spoke out against mandates and paid a very, very high price for it. And he's a very eloquent guy. I've had him on the show, like Julie. Two of my favorite guests, actually, because they're not just smart, but they have the same approach that I think is necessary when analyzing COVID policy. They're extremely humane, right? It's like, what is the cost? What is this doing to people? And at the time that he was worried about children and the vaccine, even the World Health Organization was saying myocarditis was a thing, right? And was worried about it. But yet he was kind of hauled in, and the meeting was taped. It's astonishing what happened to him in there. But anyway, he was very, very excited to have a chat with you folks. So we're just going to pull him up. We're going to tech him up, as we say. And while we're doing that, I'm just going to read you some more things from our people who are watching. Here's a question: is the OPP escorting you through the province? Are you getting? Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Are they allowed to say? Sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
They've been outstanding. I can't say enough about Ontario Provincial Police. They've escorted us right from the Manitoba border. They got us safely to the rec center in Kenora. They got us safely out of the rec center, and they've followed us the entire way. 2 cars. Every intersection we come to, there's an officer, a member sitting at the intersections. Hats off to you guys.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
And
Are they going to protect you in Ottawa?
Yeah. Well, they might, but do you get a sense that the police are kind of on your side a bit? Like, do they ever kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge, or are they more quiet?
Some of them aren't allowed to say, I think, but yeah, we get a little bit of a wink, wink every now and then.
They're
Yes.
getting canceled if they say anything. I mean, I believe, like I said, I'm trying not to watch the news because I get what they're doing. But I heard that there was a RCMP officer that was supporting us, and they're trying to cancel her. I also had a talk with a gentleman who runs a publication out of the States, and there was a lady in the States that worked for, I can't remember which police department, and she called us true heroes, and they're trying to cancel her and get her fired.
Really?
So, I mean, this is the thing, right? This is the thing. Why is it up to these truck drivers to save us? Where is our military? Where is our RCMP? Like, why do these guys have to come and save the day?
Yeah. Well, I know that there were some organizations that had spoken out about mandates. I was approached by some firefighters who listened to the show and various other people. But I don't know. It's just sometimes these things happen in a moment, you know? They just, oh, there's Dr. Christian. Yeah. They just had, you know, the timing is right and the stars line up and everybody's ready for the thing to happen at this particular time. And I think that's what's happening with you. So Dr. Christian is saying he's here and ready to. There he is. Can you see me? He says. Okay.
You know, Trish.
Yes.
I gotta go.
Sorry.
I gotta go. So.
You gotta go. Okay. Yep. Okay. Well, you gotta go to bed, right? Because you're.
I gotta do that, but I got some errands to run. Oh yeah, I met him before there. Yeah.
Okay. I know we've kept you for a while. There's Dr. Christian. Maybe stick around, Jake, for a minute and just hear Dr. Christian. Yeah, just for a minute. Thank you for doing this too. I'm so grateful to you, especially you got a big day tomorrow. Hi, Dr. Christian. How are you?
Hi, Trish. Very good to see you, and very good to see you all. And
nice to see you too.
My salutations, my great admiration for
Let me
you.
just say something too, that Dr. Christian's going to read something, but you, like Julie, I emailed you and asked, and you guys replied instantly that you wanted to do this. So, that's the kind of people they are. As I said, they're humane, and they walk the walk, and they've paid a price for their convictions. And I think they feel probably a real kinship with you guys too. So go ahead, Dr. Christian, read your statement.
Trish, it's a great honor to be here, and thank you for inviting me to this. I do have a message for the heroic truckers for freedom, and I'm going to read it for you now. In the annals of human history, a time comes but rarely when a nation awakes to freedom, to liberty, to truth, and to a new beginning. This is such a time. You, the truckers of Canada, have brought back hope to a nation languishing in the long night of tyranny and oppression. You've made our grandmothers and our children smile and dance again. You, the truckers of Canada, have made the songs of freedom soar and sound anew, from mountain top to shining sea, from PEI to BC, and from our great white north to our teeming border south. Your roar of freedom has reverberated across our towns and our cities and has been heard around the world. Canada is cheering you on. Our American brothers and sisters are cheering you on. And we know that from every continent, from every global outpost of tyranny, a shout of acclamation and a hand of solidarity is being raised for you, for us in Canada, for all of humanity. You, the truckers of Canada, have said to our rulers, enough. And we have raised the glass with you, and our trembling lips also cry with you, enough. You have said enough. We will not have vaccine mandates for truckers, for our airplanes, for our trains, for our right to be strong and free Canadians in this strong and free and beautiful land. And we cry with you, enough. You, our Canadian truckers for freedom, have said enough. We will not have inhuman and illegal vaccine mandates in our hospitals, in our schools, in our hockey rinks, in the places we eat, in the places we gather with friends and lovers and families. And we say with you, enough. You, our heroes, Canadian truckers for freedom, have said enough. We will never allow you to lock us down again. Never. We are free. And we say with you, enough. You, our Canadian truckers for freedom, say to our tyrannical rulers, enough. Stop dividing us now. Stop making the vaccinated and unvaccinated and us versus them. We are one people, and we will be one nation, one family, one Canada. And we say with you, enough. You, our warriors for freedom, say, enough. Stop using our taxpayers' money to muzzle doctors and censor the news. Stop. And we say with you, stop. Canada honors you. I honor you. We salute you. I salute you. We have your back. Canada has your back as you roll across this great nation. The roar you hear is from the sleeping lion called Canada that is now awake. And every roar of your trailer and truck will be met by the collective roar of Canada. We love you. We can never thank you enough. God bless you and Godspeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's
Wow. That
That
was
was
really
amazing.
something. What I neglected to say in my introduction to Dr. Christian is that he's also a poet, right? You're a surgeon and a poet, literally,
that
right?
was awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for saying those wonderful things. It's a bit of a manifesto. We need to hear those things, don't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, so, Dr. Christensen, can I give you the trucker thank you then?
Do it.
Ready? You want this?
Yes,
Here's the
thank
trucker thank you.
you. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So people
I
are
don't
saying
deserve
that
that,
enough
but
is,
thank you.
sorry. Sorry, I was going to say people are saying now that they're going to use enough as their slogan. We have many. So that was very moving, Dr. Krishna. So let's update on how you're doing. Just give me a quick, are you practicing medicine? Are you a surgeon still? Or
because in this extraordinary time we're living in, asking for informed consent is somehow controversial.
Yeah.
And that's all I asked for.
Yeah.
Informed consent in the injecting of our kids with a vaccine or an injection that had never been used in humans before. That's all I was asking for, informed consent. And as most of you may know, that got me fired from my jobs I was actually the director of quality and patient safety. That's ironical because this is very much part of patient safety. And I also directed the surgical humanities department. I don't know what they thought, how firing me from a surgical humanities job would help the pandemic's cause. And my position, I'm a surgeon, a general surgeon. I have an interest in head and neck, thyroid, that sort of thing. So they suspended my professor of surgery designation, and now that's all under appeal and under legal issue and all that. But it's really not about me at all. The issues are much bigger now. And
yeah, they are. But you did pay a price, and I think you and Julie represent exactly why the truckers are doing what they're doing. Right? It's not just about them being able to cross the border. A lot of people are being
Yeah, no, we
punished.
should have, when they started with the nurses and doctors, we truckers should have stood up then already.
Yeah.
Because when does a country ever get rid of their nurses and doctors if there is a true pandemic,
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
with
think
you, Jake.
that has ever happened in history before.
Yeah, it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
I can send you some of the people on the chat thing are asking whether they can have the text of my message.
Yes.
And I can
How
send
do
that to you, Trish, and
Would you?
can give it to them. Yes,
I'll tell you what I'll do. I will. I'll post it on my Substack,
sure.
and I will send it out on my email lists. We'll do all that tomorrow. And if it's on the Substack, then I can create a link to it and just link to it on my social media, and people can get it. Thanks for that. Yeah. So people are saying thank you very much, Jake, Chris, and Tamara. All of you are truckers and those who support them and want to protect our God-given freedom. So, yeah. So I
Thanks
guess
for all the support we're getting. That is deeply appreciated.
Yeah. So I did want to just say one thing to the people who are watching this feed, which we are going to post somewhere tomorrow, maybe YouTube or something if they don't take it down. Then we'll move to Rumble. Maybe we'll put both places. I don't know. But I want to say something about what's happened just from a journalist perspective, and that is this, that these people are doing something that our forefathers died for. They're protesting. That is our right in this country. And for the media and the politicians in this democracy to smear them is grotesque. And I am saying a challenge to you. If you are reading news or seeing it on television and they're using phrases like white supremacist or far right or fringe about these people, I suggest that you turn it off, withdraw your subscription, and never look at it again until the media gets its act together on this stuff. And I mean that for newspapers, forget it. They don't deserve your attention. And you know, if these guys were protesting something that was part of the approved narrative that the left liked, I hate to bring politics into it, but that the left is, I guess, an ideology, not a political belief necessarily, but they would be supporting them. This isn't about what they're doing. It's about the fact that anybody who challenges the approved narrative is smeared, and we cannot have a free country if we allow that to happen. And if you're paying for media who are doing that, who use words like misinformation, disinformation, debunked, conspiracy theorist, all that stuff, stop purchasing it. Don't give them your money anymore, because they are trying to shut these people down. That's what they want to do. And they never engage on the merits. They never engage on the facts. They never engage on the truth of the protests. You can disagree with them. Maybe you love mandates and you can make an argument why they're good. That's fine. All are welcome here. But that's not what they're doing. It's ad hominem and it's a lie. And so you do have some power over the media you consume. And I think that these wonderful people, aside from being courageous and going to Ottawa, that this is also highlighting how far we have fallen into a propaganda campaign. So please think about that as well. So people are saying, you're not alone, support independent media. Yeah. Support the truckers. Yep. Truckers, you've helped so many of us find each other at a time when we were wearing out. Yes, indeed, just in time. So thank you all for doing it. Jake, have a safe first leg tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
Right? Yeah. And Tamara and Chris, keep on going. You guys are pooped. I know you are. I did want to say one other thing. Brian Peckford is suing, by the way, the government. And he is one of the founding fathers of our Charter of Rights and Freedoms, his former premier of Newfoundland. That came out today. He was with Jordan Peterson talking about that. So we were going to try and get him for the show. I know he wanted to do it, but I think we may have had a tech problem with him. I'm not sure. We're sure we don't have him right now. I'm going to ask if he's there. Okay. We're just going to see, because he had a greeting as well, which is very, very powerful, because, you know, Mr. Peckford is one of the people who supported us having rights and freedoms that are now being taken away by public health policies. But we're just looking to see if he's in there or not. Is he? I don't think he is. I don't think he is. He's been swamped. He did Jordan Peterson, so the whole world wants to talk to him now. So, but it's good. We should all respect him, because he's been fighting a big fight on this too. And what he announced today is huge. So, yay, Brian Peckford. And we'll talk to him soon.
Who's JP?
Justin.
Yeah.
Oh, Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
Oh, Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson. Yeah. So I think maybe he's not here. I'm just going to take a look on just to see. There's no email saying anything. So, oh, what's this? I have a phone number for him, but.
Let me call him.
Yeah.
You can answer some questions.
Do we have time to get him in?
I'm going to call him and see.
Okay. If you guys want to just chill for a minute, we're going to see if we can get Mr. Peckford on the phone. We won't be long.
Answer some questions.
And Brian is also the original architects of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. So he's the only living member of the team that put the charter together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Apart from being the premier of Newfoundland, of course.
So the fact that he's taking the government to court over this is a really big thing. I cared very much about the idea that I thought the courts were going to sort this out. Didn't you, Dr. Christian? I felt that, you know, people would be suing over various aspects of this and that they'd win, but they're not. And it's not happening. I know there was the OSHA case in the States, but it's not really going their way, is it?
I think the judiciary, at least in the last few decades, 2 or 3 decades, seems to follow. It's almost like opinion polls. If the people feel in a particular way, the judges rule in a particular way. Yeah. If the ruling party puts out propaganda, and 24/7 mainstream media propaganda. On a particular narrative, the judges seem to go with that narrative. But on the other hand, the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedoms, the JCCF, jccf.ca, has been doing some really amazing work. One of the things they have been doing is making, from a very scholarly and persuasive legal perspective, making governments aware that they are treading on very shallow legal ground, that they absolutely have no legal basis for their actions. So
Yeah.
they've sent out intention to sue to New Brunswick when they said that people would not be able to go to buy groceries if they were not vaxxed. And New Brunswick scrambled and reversed that in a couple of weeks. So that kind of activism from lawyers is needed. We need many more lawyers doing that. The JCCF is doing it. There are a few other groups that are doing it, but not enough. So the JCCF.
So these things are important. Sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, yeah. So these things are important because we haven't really seen from the courts the kind of response we want. Again, this is why the truckers are important. So I'm being told that we can have Mr. Peckford himself in 5 minutes. So why don't we keep it going? Jake, do you want to stick around for that?
No, I got 40 minutes to go take and do what I need to do. So
you better go do it then, bud. Then yeah, you better go do it.
I appreciate you having me on.
Ottawa, Jake.
We'll see you in Ottawa.
Yeah, thank
Yes.
you so
Thank you.
much.
Thanks for what you do.
Thank you so
Drive
much.
safe.
You betcha. Thanks, and you do the same. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye, Jake.
Good
Thank
night.
you. And I know that our listeners are so happy for what you're doing and very grateful to you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Bye-bye. Okay, so now we're together. Okay, everybody's saying bye, Jake. Bye, Jake. Love you, Jake. Yeah. So we're just going to tech him up. So what is I did say in the advertisement for the show, we talk about your itinerary, guys. So where are you going to be when, in case people want to come and line the streets in the next day or so?
Well, right now we're actually just going to have a meeting tonight. We've got a bunch of bad weather coming in tomorrow, so Highway 17 through Sault Ste. Marie. We're going to weigh the options tonight to see if running up Highway 11 through Hirsch is a better situation. We've got a lot of people in our convoy, so safety is the utmost important thing right now.
Yeah.
We'll get up off the squalls off the Great Lakes. So,
Yeah.
so tomorrow night, either St. Marie or probably Cochrane, somewhere up there, one of the two, and then Empress, I think it is, for the night before we roll into Ottawa. So
I'm just looking it up here.
Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow I think Sault Ste. Marie.
yeah, Sault Ste. Marie, if the weather holds.
Yeah, if the weather holds. What's today? The 25th? I don't even know.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, yeah,
It's the
today's the 26th. So tomorrow, Thursday.
She's tired.
Tomorrow's
She's
Thunder
tired.
Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
That's good.
So yeah, tomorrow to Sault Ste. Marie.
Okay. And
looks
so
like-
when you say Sault Ste. Marie, so you'll be coming in, like, is that the 401 or what road will you actually be on if people want to come and do their thing?
17, Highway 17, and well, that'd be 1 too, I guess. So
Yeah. Okay. And is it a slow roll still, or are you going normal speed?
we're going normal speed, yeah, legal speed. Just because of the pure size of the convoy, we have to regulate our speed at times to make sure everybody stays with the pack. It's a team effort, really.
Yeah. Yeah. So, when you get to Ottawa, I know that there was some concern about whether or not you could actually get into the city. Do you think you're going to be able to get into what if they, like, there's also talk of blockades even, or what do you call them, roadblocks? Do you think that might happen?
that's been debunked. Yeah.
Debunked, eh? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're frozen a bit.
There's so many rumors going around right now, but I got.
Yeah. So people are saying, and I think maybe this is the right thing to do, that you guys look tired. So maybe we'll just let you go. I think is that, and you know what? I'll talk to Mr. Peckford and I'll get his greetings and I'll send them to you. I think they're too tired. They're too tired. Yeah. Yeah. I understand that he
We're pretty
is.
wore out. We need to get cleaned up.
Yeah. I understand that he's on your side, and I'll send you an email with some comments from him for you to read tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so
Thank you so much.
Yeah, everybody's, oh, there's a risk of snow squalls in Sault Ste. Marie tomorrow. So, yeah.
We'll have to weigh the pros and cons.
Yeah, we're gonna go have a meeting. We haven't. We need to go meet as a group with the road captains and come up with some contingency plan.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay.
Let them know that Brian is.
Thanks so much, Canada.
Thank you, you guys.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Oh, just let me say, Brian's been watching this and he just wanted to send his warm regards. He's been listening to you. So, yeah. Great man. So thank you very, very much. People are going to be so uplifted by this. And I know you're try and get a good night's sleep if you can, and just understand that people are supporting you more than you can ever know. It's really shifted everybody's DNA in this country.
And we appreciate it so much. We really do.
Can I just say, guys, when you see the convoy coming down the road and you got your kids in there, give it the old toot, because there's nothing better than blowing as much air horn as I possibly can. Everybody in the convoy.
Okay. Is Zippy there? Can you hold Zippy up to the camera, please? Is he still in the truck?
It's
a little dog.
Zippy's sitting on the arm right there.
Little Zippy. Look at him.
So
cute.
yeah, he's a
He's just beautiful. He's beautiful.
It's so sweet.
He's a little sweetheart. Okay, guys. Get a good night's sleep tonight. I hope your planning goes well. And we're going to probably want to do this again at some point in this long journey. So let's do it.
Take care, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Christensen.
Thank you, Dr. Christian.
Thank you.